Hello and welcome to the Darting Ones. I'm Paul Klusman. We're recording here at Gutsy Movie Production Studios in beautiful exotic Wichita, Kansas. Here with Nick Huffman and Paulette. Nick is the creator of a mini-series called The Darting Ones. It's an intriguing story of a secret underground society of lawn dart enthusiasts.
You would call it a cabal. It rises to the level of a cabal.
And
a dart throwing cabal.
And so Nick is the creator, and Paulette is his muse, object of love and affection, who helps to keep his creative juices flowing.
I don't know about that.
Well, the two of you bounce ideas. And so a little backstory. We started talking about this, years ago. And Nick just has this talent for coming up with these amazing characters. He knows the backstory of each of them. And they all have fantastic names. And
some of which we can't remember. They're so fantastic.
Some of which today we can't remember.
We can't remember.
So, describe what is the Darting Ones.
The Darting Ones. If you were going to watch a movie about the Darting Ones, it would begin with a crawl, a la Star Wars.
A title crawl, just text going past.
Text crawling across the screen, and it would say, Episode 5. It would say...
Can't start at
1. Yeah, there's no precedent for starting at 1. Episode 5. The turmoil within the cabal. And it would say, so-and-so has died, because that's another name we can't remember. The 13th member of the cabal...
Of the Darting Ones.
...has perished in a bass fishing accident. He drowned. And the group, which is composed of all the luminaries of Scottsdale, Arizona.
The sleepy town of Scottsdale.
Oh, not sleepy.
Not sleepy.
Scottsdale is a happening place.
What is the time frame? What is the era that this
Modern
is
day.
Modern day?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's, oh, crap, there's 14. There's 14 members. I forgot the colonel.
Colonel Bloodstone.
Maybe I'm missing a 15th.
Oh, gee.
I was thinking there was actually 16 members.
Anyway, there needs to be a certain requisite number of members, and that last member has died. Now,
so the Darting Ones is not just people that are meeting to fulfill their enthusiasm for lawn darts. It ties into the whole society and all the movers and shakers, and it keeps people activated and energized, and the community suffers then when the lawn darting enthusiasts.
When the Darting Ones are darting, the arrow is up. There is prosperity, happiness. Happiness abounds.
Okay.
When there is no darts, the arrow is down. Misery ensues. Gloom, despair.
That's the influence of the darts.
Nothing works without the darts.
This is quite like recreational drugs, isn't it? Is it a practice or
No, it's a meet. It's like a league.
Money.
Oh yeah, it's big money. It's we haven't decided what a significant amount of money is yet. It could be like $9,000 a week. Okay.
Now, and also explain about the intrigue of lawn darts themselves.
Well, lawn darts is a notorious activity, much like recreational drug use. The way that low-level drug use has been persecuted, so too has been the throwing of the metal-tipped lawn darts. Now,
because then this is true. There were a couple of.
Oh, there were some accidents. You know, anything can be made deadly by misuse. But what it boils down to is this fun little game. This game with the pointy darts was taken off the shelves and banned. You can own them. If you have them, nobody can take them away from you. Okay. And you can use them. You know, you can play with them on your lawn, the metal tipped, but you cannot buy them. If you get caught buying them, you're in trouble. Okay,
It's shunned
so
on like that too sometimes. Yes.
Scottsdale has suffered greatly in the absence of the weekly meetings of the Darting Ones, and they've been desperate to find I'm not sure, maybe 16th member. It has to be a certain number, and they're short one member. And the recruiter of the group, Charlie Chandler, has been out to desperately trying to recruit has to be a worthy member for the Darting Ones.
So tell us who is Charlie Chandler?
Charlie Chandler, he is the group's
I think of him as like the Radar O'Reilly of
Pink
of the
Panther.
group.
Think Pink Panther.
Finger
Yeah,
sellers.
yeah. He's okay. Charlie Chandler. He's the one who makes sure everything goes smoothly. He and the league secretary, but mainly it's Charlie. He adapts himself to every situation. He's got a real natural feel, a real natural instinct for getting what he wants out of people. Okay? Interpersonally, he is a savant. He's a
Every bit is-
he's an interpersonal Svengali.
No, he's a droid in his.
He's a droid. Yeah,
He's
a
a
droid. A droid implies something that is well above average, and he's the one who recruits the star
Our
of the show,
hero, who is
Count Smaculus.
Count Smaculus. How did you come up with the name of Count Smaculus?
I don't know.
Remember.
I don't know.
So Count Smaculus.
Yeah.
They're going out and they've discovered this guy who's a former, almost world champion lawn dart.
Not lawn darts. This is
Dart.
traditional dart throwing.
Oh, traditional.
Oh yeah,
dart throwing.
which is a great big thing in the UK.
Okay.
It was his destiny to win that year's world championship. He was by far the best dart thrower. When his destiny was deprived him, he was maimed the night before he was due to match up with the English champion. He was maimed by some English dart hooligans, and they
Either like soccer hooligans,
Yes,
but
yes.
they run around in the dart circles.
Right. He was maimed. He could not throw, and therefore the thing that the universe was pointing him at was deprived him. And so he moved to Scottsdale, Arizona, gave up darts altogether, and became a computer programmer. And he was not seen from again, or seen or heard from on a public stage, until Charlie Chandler happened upon him in a rail station.
Because Charlie's an aficionado of all kinds of cultures and historical interesting things. And
He's got a wealth of obscure information, including the identity of Smaculus. Yes.
a wealth of obscure information.
Yeah.
So he sees him at the.
He sees him at the station, and he approaches him. He speculates about one's place in the universe, is how it boils down to. They have kind of a quick, friendly conversation. Leaves it sort of open-ended because he plans on working on this guy now that he knows he's around.
So then there are subsequent meetings.
And then he visits him twice more, just like Jesus was.
He appears to him 3 times.
Smaculus and Jesus. Yeah, I'd put him like, I'd put Jesus and then Smaculus. But anyway. Okay. So he gets visited 3 times. Once by chance in the railroad station.
Where he's just in normal plain clothes.
Yeah, plain clothes. And then a second time he visits him as a Hare Krishna.
As a Hare Krishna.
Of course, hey brother, where are you going? Where have you been? Where are you going? What are you doing?
Where's the second location?
Outside of a bank,
Okay.
because that's where all the Hare Krishnas hang out.
Okay.
I thought
Okay.
it was airports.
Okay, airport. And then the third time, he calls him as an insurance salesman, because we all know that insurance salesmen, their job is to make you think about your mortality, your place in the world.
Oh gosh.
Okay? I have a lot of disdain for insurance companies. But anyway, Smaculus is dodging. He doesn't want to buy any insurance, and he's dodging his questions. And Charlie Chandler has been, mainly he's trying to provoke that thought of, hey, I'd better find what was out there for me. You know, I'd better fulfill what the universe destined for me to do.
Well, this was kind of, the seed was planted. The full realization did not come until he was sitting in his living room.
Yes.
Watching.
It's later that night, in fact, the same night. And he's sitting in the dark, illuminated only by the glow of his 42-inch plasma television, okay? And he's watching The Karate Kid Part 3.5, all right? And we're getting to the part, he's to the climax of the movie, all right, where Ralph Macchio and the evil sensei, they're in the playground, and they're fighting, okay? And the evil sensei hits Ralph Macchio with the merry-go-round, but it doesn't even faze Ralph Macchio. And knowing that he can't do any more damage than he just did, he drops the merry-go-round, he sits down on it, and he says, in a gasping, defeated kind of voice, "No mercy." And Ralph Macchio, the camera focuses in and on Ralph Macchio, and he says, "No mercy," and then he punches his head off. Okay, he punches the sensei's head off,
And it separates.
Right. It's flying through the air. The head is flying through the air, tumbling end over end.
Oh, jeez. And
it's in that moment that the perspective of this whole scene kind of reverse. One moment it's Smaculus is watching the movie, and then suddenly it's the movie watching Smaculus.
You're sort of looking from within the television screen
Right.
out towards Smaculus.
And suddenly the universe has spoken to him, and he, in fact, that's exactly what he says. "I think the universe is trying to tell me something."
As he's watching the head spinning
Yes,
on
the
sphere,
spinning
floating
head.
through space.
That's right.
Sort of 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yes. Finally, he's thinking about darts again. He's thinking about the thing that he was better than anyone else at. Because after his episode in Liverpool,
Where the darting hooligans.
where he got
injured,
maimed, yeah.
Where he got his darting. His
He
throwing
had a
was-
good life. He had a very adequate life, but it was right in the middle. He was like the definition of average. The Japanese have I guess it's more of a Buddhist. Is it a Buddhist philosophy? Chudo, I think it's called, where you're supposed to have it neither too good or too bad. Your goal in life is to eat not the best food and not the worst. Okay, and that's what he's been doing. He's been living adequately.
What kind of car does he drive?
Miata.
It's a good car.
Miata, Mazda Miata.
It's not a Ferrari. It's not a Geo Prism. It's a Miata. It's not bad. We're gonna get all the Miata owners mad at us now. Gonna get a letter from Mazda.
So anyway, he's following the third way, the middle way, until the universe speaks to him.
And he became associated with the darting one.
So he gets recruited as a full member, and everything is happy once again within the cabal. The arrow is up. There is prosperity, happiness. Happiness abounds. Until the colonel starts missing his duties with the United States Army,